of not less than 20 case files of some detainees in its custody as a key part of the reforms initiated by the agency. This followed the release from its custody 3 detainees arrested on the suspicion of belonging to the outlawed Indigenous Peoples of Biafra and its militant wing Eastern Security Network. The trio, who were arrested by the secret police operatives some months ago following the killing of 7 cattle herders, were released on Tuesday night after the conclusion of review of their case files. The 3 detainees identified as Augustine Udemba, Nelson Oyedikachi Udemba, and Ifeanyi Eze were reunited with members of their family yesterday. Confirming the release to journalists in Abuja, an activist Deji Adeyanju said the steps being taken by the DSS to release those wrongfully arrested and detained will rebrand the image of the agency. He linked the development to ongoing reforms led by Oluwatosin Ajayi, Director General of the Secret Police. Let's bring in lawyer Fred Nziako for more on this development. Mr. Nziako, thank you for joining us on the news at 10. I'm wondering what legal or constitutional implications these wrongful detentions by the DSS raise, especially in cases where people were held for months without trial.
Well, before we talk about the constitutional implication, we want to first salute the new DG of DSS for taking such bold step and to encourage him to go a lot further more, because there are so many people that are languishing in the DSS custody and in various prison cells on account of unlawful detention, especially those that were branded IPOB members and militants of ESN. And going further, it is also important that the federal government should have a compensation package for those whose part of their life has been wasted in dungeon on account of illegal detention by security agencies. Such is the practice all over the world, that when there are collateral damages, which includes wrongful detention of persons, then there must be compensation paid to those people. You don't expect them to go and litigate over such a compensation because they may not have the capacity and the wherewithal to fight for their rights through the courts to get the compensation from the government. But goodness and the good governance and the respect for human rights and welfare of the citizens demands that when there is such unlawful detention, the people not only should be released from custody, but they should be compensated and fully reintegrated into the society so that they will contribute meaningfully to the advancement of the society from their own end.
Well, talking about compensation, I think the DG is paying between 10 to 20 million naira to some individuals who have been detained. But going forward, because you talked about celebrating the Director General, how can Nigerians really be assured that these reforms, like reviewing case files and compensating victims, will really be institutionalized and not just a one-off under the current DG?
Well, the DG of SSS is supposed to, from time to time, review such cases. In fact, there's supposed to be a standing committee of the service, whereby from time to time they will review all the cases to know who merits to be taken to court and who merits to be detained. But of course, detention of persons without trial on its own is a breach of the fundamental rights of the citizens. So in as much as the SSS are free to do their work, but they are not free to breach the constitutional rights of the citizens without any reason. So much as we want to salute him for this one he has done, it is important that he deepens this process and institutionalize the process by setting up a standing committee to review detainees' issues, files from time to time. In various Nigerian prisons and correctional facilities around the country, almost all of them have at least not more than 50% of the inmates are awaiting trial inmates. Many people in SSS custody are also awaiting trial. Many of them have not even been taken to court, which is a very terrible affront on the constitutional rights of the citizens.
Yes.
So we cannot stop by saying that much as this needs to be done, there's also need to redirect the operatives towards the respect of the fundamental rights of the citizens and avoid unlawful detention without trial. For anybody who is accused of an offense, the next thing is for the person to have his day in court. And such matter will be expeditiously handled in court so that one way or the other, the person will know his fate. Either he is freed or he is imprisoned lawfully. And if there is any unlawful detention of any manner by way of mistake in operations, there must be compensation paid to the citizens.
Well, hopefully, we're counting on that. Hopefully, we don't return in another few years to have the same conversation. But it's a good place to leave it. Lawyer Fred Nziako, thank you for talking to us.
Many thanks.